when this equipment goes to the market, when it's sold, that whatever it's sold for that day, that was the market for that machinery. And we know that we got top tier, top dollar for that equipment. And that is peace of mind. That's the easy button. Dustin Boatwright, Chief Engineer, Executive Vice President for Little River Drainage District. We are a drainage district in southeast Missouri. We drain about 2 million acres of landscape, have about 1,000 miles of ditches, 300 miles of levees, 26,000 acres of detention basin, machinery behind us that you see here. That's what we use to keep the system going. The first time we were introduced to Purple Wave, 5 or 6 years ago. We've done business with other auction companies. This is our, and I'd have to look back, but this is our 5th or 6th auction. Each time that we've put units into the auction, we've been given a price up front on what we think they will bring, and those prices have always been exceeded. The thing that is really different is, as you can see today, we're sitting on our yard. We're gonna sell this equipment right here on our yard. When folks come to pick it up, they're gonna have a face here that they can talk to, learn a little bit about the equipment before it goes out the door. You know, you're not out the expense of the hauling to get it there. As the seller, you're out an extra expense by taking a piece of machinery somewhere. Oh, and then on the flip side, the person buying it is also out that same expense. So with this layout, you know, you've got direct contact with the seller. One transport out of here, you know, to the final buyer. All of those factors set Purple Wave apart, and just having the global reach, having an internet-based auction to where, you know, these items that are behind us, they're gonna have plenty of exposure before we get to the final sale. That exposure and having the ability to interact with the buyers really sets Purple Wave apart from the other options that are out there. And the whole process of the data capture, coming out and gathering that information on the machinery, the level of due diligence is so high that from a buyer's perspective, knowing that the amount of time and energy that goes into collecting that data, it's a really big deal for a buyer. There's a sense of community there, like, you know, a lot of these folks are just like me. They talk like I do. You know, they've done this type of work their entire life, and they speak the language, and it's fun. You know, just wonderful, wonderful people throughout the country that do the work that keep this country running, and it takes the equipment to do it. And there's no question that Purple Wave has opened that community up to where we can interact and do those things, and it's definitely beneficial. It's the amount of work that goes in on this equipment behind the scenes to where Purple Wave is actually reaching out to potential bidders, talking to them, letting them know, hey, you've bid on this before. We've got one that's really low hour in this auction. You may want to look at it. But because of that work that went on behind the scene to line up the bidders with the sellers, with us, the seller, we had a really good outcome. And we had a bidder, a buyer, that was extremely happy too, because they got a piece of equipment that they didn't think existed. Somebody with just a few pieces of equipment that they should sell through Purple Wave, and I think the answer is pretty simple, yes. The nice thing about it is no matter the size of the seller, for somebody just to know, okay, here's what I was thinking that I was gonna get out of it, here's what the professionals are telling me that I should expect, and just being very upfront and no surprises. That's been a big takeaway, is no surprises. If I was to describe Purple Wave in one word, what would that word be? Probably seamless. From the beginning to the end, no rock is left unturned. Seamless would be the word that I would use to describe Purple Wave.